What is happening, everybody? How's it going tonight? Forest Nation Team Call, Sunday, the 1st of October. Welcome, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. We got some good info coming from Rebecca, so I'm going to toss it over to her, and I'll be right back.
Thanks, Dave. Hold on, I'm like finishing messaging one of my people here. I was trying to message you real fast. All right. Okay, guys, we had an awesome September. Lots of rank advancements, lots of success club points, which obviously our people helped, team volume. I've never really actually added up team volume before, so I don't know how this compares. I can tell just looking without adding it, this was not the best month ever, but we still did awesome. So team volume overall is, I'm not even sure, that I might not have added in my own. Well, before my own is 21,069, but now I'm looking at it, I think I probably forgot to add in my own. And then tentatively 92 success club points. So I say tentatively because sometimes it takes another day or two at the end of the month to update. So tentatively it's 92. That could go up. So awesome month. What we're going to do right now is I really want, and I know we're doing an awesome job, and a lot of us are, either came into this or became personal trainers or health coaches or group fitness exercise instructors, or we already were. So some of this is not really super new information as far as how to talk to the potential clients, the potential challengers, but it's really good to refresh memories, and this way we can really look at these people as people, and talking to them this way and asking these questions will help get them to know, like, and trust us, especially if it's somebody you're just getting to know, like on Facebook or from Instagram or something. So these are things like I would do when I was wellness coaching at the Y. I have done this, but there's also times that I have when I go and talk to people, I just ask them like a couple questions like, what's your current health, struggles, and what's your current health goals and stuff. So this is going to dive a little bit deeper into that. I can type these up and make it into a PDF, but I would suggest if you can write them down right now as we go, just so you already have them. And these would be ways to I would say try to get on the phone or in person or on video chat when you talk to them and ask these questions, because that's going to mean a lot more than if you're typing it in a message. If you have to, you have to, but I would almost say if you have to go just the Facebook Messenger route, maybe ask the questions through the voice part, that way at least they're hearing your voice, and have them reply back with the voice, because then you can hear the inflection in their voice and stuff. And it might help with getting the crickets to go away a little bit more, maybe get people off the fence a little bit faster. All right, so it's roughly 15 questions. These are not, you don't have to ask every single one question to every person you talk to. However, this is a really good list, so you can kind of narrow it down to find out more information about these people. So without further ado, I'm going to put this in front of me. Hope I don't. All right. So we got 15 questions. I want you guys to try to write these down. Like I said, I can type them up and make a PDF out of them too. But so number one, what you want to ask them, tell me what you are trying to accomplish. That kind of goes along with, like what your goals are, but try, ask them, tell me what you're trying to accomplish. We should never assume just talking to somebody, or interacting with them on Facebook or something, that they want to lose weight, or, maybe they're already healthy, but they need to, or a normal weight or whatever, but they want to clean up their diet a little bit more. Maybe they want to do more strength training, whatever, so just that would be like the very first question to ask. Tell me what you're trying to accomplish. Let's see. I don't know if I can mute people. You guys make sure you mute yourselves, okay? And then you can ask questions later. I can't do it because it's on Dave. So you okay there, Obes? You're like, all right. Number two, what have you tried in the past What did you like about it, and what did you dislike about it? What have you tried in the past? What did you like about it? What did you dislike about it? Could be Weight Watchers. It could be working out at a gym. It could be working with the previous Beachbody coach. It could be, CrossFit. It could be Galeno, whatever out there. So, all right, make sure you're muting yourselves, guys. Thank you. So this will help narrow down, a little bit more about them, about what they've tried, and will help you, like, especially with what they like or what they didn't like. Maybe they were going to yoga classes and they totally hated it, and then you can like ask more probing questions there and find out what they didn't like about it. I mean, everybody should probably have a little bit of yoga in their life, but doing just full out yoga is not necessarily for everybody. Maybe it was too hard for them. Maybe, it was too, like, they felt like it was too high level for them, but they did like the idea of yoga. So obviously 3-week yoga retreat would be a good option for them to try out, because there are different levels and it is shorter and they really explain things. So when you ask those questions, and you're writing these things down, you're not asking that, you're just asking questions. You are not given any advice until the end. You are not really recommending anything until the end. You're just taking questions, asking questions and taking notes. So number 3, this kind of goes along with number 2. Why did that not work out long term? Maybe they tried Weight Watchers and they lost a bunch of weight. This was something even previous, before Beachbody, but I had a lady tell me, it's like, oh yeah, I know that Jenny Craig works. I've used it several times. I'm like, but if it actually worked, you wouldn't have to try it several times. But okay, so you need to find out what happened. Maybe it was an injury. Maybe it was an illness. Maybe something happened in their family. Maybe maybe it's something that has nothing to do with what they were trying at the time. Maybe it was a time thing. Who knows? Ask the question why it didn't work long term, why they're not still doing it right now. Number 4, tell me about your support system. Tell me about your support system. Like I say, if you need to ask more probing questions, it's like, are you married? Is your spouse supportive of you doing these things? Are they going to do it along with you? What about people at work? We got people, a lot of you guys that work in offices or other places, and people bring in the crap food all the time. You don't know. That's not a very good support system when you're trying to eat healthy and they're bringing in donuts all the time, and donuts are your weakness. So try to find out, it's like more often than not, people are going to fail because of a lack of support more than anything else. Sorry. That's going to be the biggest thing right there. So if they have a lot of negative influences, or if they have some positive influences, that's going to help determine how successful they're going to be. And again, when you go to the end and you start giving them recommendations, obviously we have great support system here within our team and our challenge groups. Number 5, what are your food addictions or your trigger foods? That one, we all have those things that we can't be trusted around. And I don't know, I don't even know if I want to be your friend if you don't have any of those. But, for me, it's like kettle chips. I cannot be left alone with kettle chips. Cookies, I cannot be left alone with cookies. What are you so excited about? There are certain things that I cannot, I can't. Pizza, yeah. It's like thin crust pizza. I can't eat, like, I could eat a whole freaking pizza. And those of you that see me in person, it's like I'm a very small human. So I could put away like an enormous amount of food for somebody my size. So there are things like that. So when it comes to trigger foods, and then you can ask again, like, what is it about those trigger foods? What is it about, it's like, do you eat it more when you're stressed, when you're bored, when you're lonely, when, what you haven't planned ahead? Ask a little bit more about that to try to dive a little bit deeper into it. Because, like, if it's cravings, or if it's, like they say ice cream. I love ice cream. Well, we could show them a way where they can make Shakeology that would be ice cream like, right? Nice cream. I mean, I have that quite often myself. So Jennifer Jennifer says she can eat an entire pizza too. I think part of the reason why I put on like 15 pounds over the last year is because we were doing the whole Chicago themed stuff during the playoffs last year, and I ate way too much deep dish pizza. So, and that's like makes me big. All right, back to what we were doing. Number 6. What is your water intake like? So you need to find out about that. If they're not drinking much water, or they're drinking pop / soda / whatever you call it, or other things that, are calories, or either empty calories, or they're the diet stuff that is contributing to cravings and whatnot, and they're not drinking the water, then you could start working with them with that. Because one of the things that you may or may not know is a lot of times when we're hungry, it's actually a sign of dehydration. So if people are getting, or like in the afternoon slumps, a lot of times that is because you haven't drank enough water. So we could talk to them about that and why water is important. And if if you aren't really sure yet, if you haven't really gone, definitely Google it. You can find a zillion different articles about why water is so important, how to infuse it. So if people are just like, I just don't like the taste of water. Well, there's ways to make water so you can drink it. And again, we want to try to ease them into it if they're not doing that. Like my little challenge group, my little free community group, we were doing a 30-day water experiment. And everybody drank at least half their body weight in water. And Karen Brandon especially has been really good about talking to them and finding out what they liked about it. And we found out a lot of people's like their cravings have gone down. They are maybe they lost some bloat. They have more energy, whatnot. So that's a little fun thing you can try in your groups and with your people too. And anyway, all right. Number 7 is, this one's going to be like one that they let them talk. You just zip up and let them talk. Share what a typical day looks like morning to night. And, talk more, ask them more about like what their nutrition, what their cravings, what their workouts look like, things like that. So I have one challenger right now. She's actually a lady that I've been freaking working on for 1.5 years, and she came to me like 1.5 years ago. And she finally, anyway, it was like a follow-up thing. I just said, hey, I haven't talked to you for a while. It's like, how are things going with you? And her reply was ready. I'm like, so I thought, okay, are you ready to get started finally? Anyway, long story short, she bought her challenge pack. She just got started. She's been taking a picture and sending me a Facebook message with all of her food. And, so she's like showing me what she's eating, and then I can kind of critique it. It's like, hey, where are the vegetables? You don't have any vegetables in any of these. She goes, that's why I'm showing you these pictures. So, you can do things like that if you want with your people, or have them, a lot of people do it in their challenge groups, which she could do it in the challenge groups too, but that's all right if this is how she wants to do it. But, you can find out. And if you've done one program all the way through, you have a general idea as like how much you should be eating. And so if they're saying, I'm getting up late and I don't really have time to eat breakfast, so I just grab like some coffee and then I take off and I get the kids to school and then blah, 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 blah. And then maybe about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, I'll, grab a Danish or grab something at the convenience store out of the machine at work, or, and they go through, then you're writing it all down. And then when you get to the end of your interview with them, then you have a good idea of what to recommend and why something would work for them and why they should probably be at least getting, a quick, shaker of Shakeology in the morning or something, and why that would be fitting for them. So, all right, number 8 would be, where do you plan to fit your workouts in each day? if they're not working out yet, that's going to be a little challenge for them, right? You might even go along with how much time do you have each day to realistically give to your workouts. Realistically is an important thing to ask, because if you get somebody who's gung-ho and they're like, no, I'm going to do this. This is like one thing I heard a lot at the Y when I was wellness coach. He's like, somebody who, needs to lose like 75 pounds and they're tired of that. And they're like, I'm going to come in every day for 2 hours. All right. Well, that's not really realistic for somebody who just started working out. And it's really not smart for anybody who is working out for the most part. So from that, you can work on, it's like, can they get up earlier in the morning? Do they need to delegate things to a significant other or teenage kids? Or do they need to turn off the TV a little bit earlier at night? Or, try to figure out how for them to fit it in that they will realistically do it at a time that they will realistically do it. Number 9, what challenges do you face? This is along the lines of, time. Maybe they don't know what to do. Maybe they have medical issues or injuries, things like that. So ask them, it's like, what challenges do you have? Maybe they have a bunch of kids and it's kind of hard to figure out when they're going to do that. Everybody's got certain challenges, and, it quite a bit of big range too, but that way you can at least find out what you're working with, where they're going to come up with excuses when it's time, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Ask them number 10, how are you with planning your meals? One lady I'm talking to right now, she said, she needs help with dinner. I'm like, well, what do your dinners look like? And she goes, McDonald's. All right. It's like, is it McDonald's because you don't plan ahead and it's convenient? Or is it because you're just madly in love with McDonald's? Thank God she said it's like convenience. I'm like, all right. So if we can work with that a little bit better. So, I'm talking to her about how, that's going to be her thing for the next week or two. She's just going to cut out the fast food and try to get a little bit more committed to making meals ahead. So, a lot of you guys kick ass at meal prep, and you show that on Facebook and show that, and there's various ways to do the meal prep. Some people don't want to sit in the kitchen for an hour or two and make a bunch of different meals or whatever, or, talk to them about, well, at least when you make food, double it and then freeze it or save it for lunches or whatever. You got to start little steps to make them successful, and then you can go from there. So like right now, what I'm doing with our food here, still haven't gotten until I convinced it's not leftovers, but it's like I just make various things so we can throw together a bowl or, a plate of, here's the veggies, here's the protein, here's, I like bowls better myself. But anyway, there's different ways to meal prep that can hopefully work with their personality, their what they have to put into their groceries, and their time commitment that they can put into it, and just make it as simple as possible for them. Something else I ask them too along with that would be, are you somebody that needs like a big variety in your meals, or are you all right with having the same thing? Like maybe breakfast can be the same thing every day and lunch can be the same thing every day, and then just switch it up a little bit at dinner. Some people are just like, I can't eat the same thing, 2 days in a row, where other people's like, it's way easier to do it that way. All right. So number 11, do you know where you should be calorie wise? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't understand how many calories they should be getting in. They don't understand. Heck, they don't even understand, why they shouldn't be eating Oreos and stuff when they hear things like calories in, calories out. That's all that matters. They don't understand like the quality of the calories. So we can figure that out for them. We have the tools to figure that out. So if they don't know how much they should be eating, plug in their information into the 21-day fix or one of the other meal plans and figure out where they fall. Number 12 would be, how much sleep do you get each night? You can even ask us, like, what time do you typically go to bed? What time do you typically get up? Then when you get that information, and then towards the end, you can also talk to them about how sleep is really important. I mean, everybody knows sleep's important, but sleep is really important, to help your body recuperate and recover from your workouts. And that's when that's when your body regenerates itself the most. So getting some decent sleep is incredibly important for your health overall. Plus, if you're sleep deprived, you guys know this, I'm sure everybody here knows this, when you don't get a good night's sleep, at least for me, all I wanted to eat is freaking carbs. I just want carbs and sugar, and I just go bananas over that. I'm like, ugh. So, that's another thing. It's going to help reduce your cravings, and if you get at least a decent amount of sleep. Number 13, do you drink caffeine? Do you take vitamins? And what kind of medications do you take? Again, that information is going to help you at the end to find out, to be able to recommend, Shakeology will help them because of this, or, some of the other products we have. Number 14, what family history of disease concerns, what's your family history of disease? What does that look like? Like for me, type 2 diabetes is in my family. Neither parent ever had cancer. Mother's still living, so who knows, which shocks the hell out of me because she smoked her entire life. So, but type 2 diabetes, heart conditions, do they have cancer? Do they have, is there Alzheimer's, dementia? Especially the older the people are that you're talking to, this is going to be even more relevant, because they're going to be starting to go like, oh crap, I don't want that to happen to me. That's where I came from. But I'm like, I'm not going to let that happen to me. So I'm going to start taking better care of myself. So that's not me in X amount of years. So that's a really important question to ask. I guess I have 16 questions here. Number 15 would be, what kind of exercises do you prefer? Like, do you like more cardio-based or more strength-based? If it's somebody who is, and again, I'm kind of preaching here a little bit, but it's still just like a good reminders. If it's somebody who's brand new, it's more important just to get them plugged into something so they feel successful and they get into the habit. So if they want to go and do UV2 because they want to dance and they just want to move their body, great. There is a little bit of a resistance in that, but for the most part, it's just cardio. But we want to, at some point, transition them into at least getting some strength training in. More calories burned. It's better for people as they get older so they don't fall down. Jokingly, but not jokingly, I tell women, it's like, we don't want to be those little old ladies who have fallen and can't get up. So do your damn push-ups, and lift some weights. So they're like, oh yeah, I don't want that to be me. So, just talk to them a little bit about it, but get them to the point where start them, if they're brand new, with something that they're going to feel successful in. And then as time goes on and you continue to work with them, you can get them, plugged into more of a strength training, or one that combines some cardio and strength training. Let's see. Number 16, this is, I should actually put one more. I'm going to put 17, but on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all and 10 being completely 100% ready, how ready are you to change or to commit, or however you want to phrase it? That is going to be, we've talked about before, that is a very telling, the answer there is very telling. If they say they're about a 5, you always ask them, if they say something besides 10, 9 or 10, say, okay, what would it take to get you to, if you're a 5, what would it take you to get to a 6 or 7? What questions do you still have? Kind of dive a little bit deeper. If they're like a 7 or 8, you can ask them, it's like, why 7 or 8? Why not a 9 or 10? And then find out, because usually it means that there's just a little bit more of information that they need. They're not quite convinced. They're not confident. There's something going on in their head where they're not really 100% sure. So, and then I guess the last one would be, and I would actually go through and talk to them more about, offering them solutions based on what they've told you, and explain in detail why Shakeology would benefit them. If they're, if cravings is a big thing with them, let them know. It's like when you get pure nutrition into your body, cravings are actually more of your body really wanting some nutrition and trying to get you to give it nutrition. So when you give it good nutrition, then your cravings go down. And funny story, one of the girls that I've worked with off and on now for like at least 2 or 3 years now, and she actually graduated with Jacob, son number 1. And so I've known her for a long time. But she finally is committed to her Shakeology and has had it for like every day for like 3 weeks now. And where she was just kind of half-assing it and having it here and there. And she even said, she goes, I thought you were crazy. She posted this in my group. I thought you were crazy when you said that Shakeology would reduce cravings. But you know what? I realize now that I am not craving the junk that I used to crave as much. And I totally believe you now. So I'm like, okay. So, different things, like if they're drink a lot of caffeine, a lot of coffee, they can, usually they're trying to get energy, of course. So maybe Shakeology would benefit them because it's going to give you some natural energy. You can go through and just find different ways where Shakeology is going to benefit them because it is pure nutrition. It's going to feed their body. Crystal's over here trying to get my attention. 80% of your results comes from your nutrition. So if they are working out, but they're not really focusing on the nutrition, they're not going to get the results. So that's why, you really want to emphasize for them to try Shakeology for 30 days every day and keep it going, because once they really start realizing like everybody here, I'm sure, once they really realize what it's going to do for them, they're not going to want to go off of it. But if they only have it's like, well, I had it Monday and then I had it Thursday because I really didn't grab a lunch. And, if they just look at it as like it's just something to fill in a meal here and there, they're not going to get the benefit of it, where if they have it every day, it's going to change their body on a cellular level. You can tell them how Shakeology provides the nutrients and fuel it needs when you're cutting calories. So like if they're trying to lose weight and they need to do that $500 calorie deficit, but they're not replacing that with actual nutrients that their body needs, then they're going to start feeling deprived. They're going to start craving. They're going to have all these issues. And that's when they're going to, like in a week or two, say, screw it, I want the pizza and I'm going to go eat the whole damn pizza because I'm starving and whatever. And they're going to get hangry and they're going to make stupid choices. But if they're having their Shakeology every day, their body is getting the nutrition it needs, even while they're doing the calorie reduction, because they're trying to lose weight. That's just for people trying to lose weight. Don't always just try to do Shakeology as a weight loss shake. I don't even really want people to talk about it so much as a meal replacement shake. It could be all those things, but what it is a pure nutrition shake, and we got to work on educating people even better on what it is, because it's not a protein shake, it's not a weight loss shake, and it's not necessarily a meal replacement shake. Because if you just narrow it to one of those, then you're leaving out a whole lot of people that it could actually be benefiting in a different way, because people who don't need to lose weight should still have Shakeology because they still need the nutrition. Let's see. Just like what I told you, what Abby, my girl in my group, said, having Shakeology also helps you make other good food choices, and it reduces your cravings. Because that's something else she said here the other day. She goes, when I have my Shakeology, I don't want to make other bad choices. I want to make good choices because I invested in that Shakeology, and I don't want to screw things up because I, decided to have some bad food. I want to keep everything going. So it's kind of like the same thing with fitness. When you start working out, you tend to make better food choices then too. But when you slack up on your workouts, you tend to start getting, at least I do, start spiraling and be like, screw it, I'm just going to have whatever I want. Again, encourage strength training as part of a program and explain why. And then, let's see. I got my notes all messed up here. So like when you get done interviewing them, asking these questions, one thing that you're going to want to ask, actually, there's kind of like two things, but now, so ask this. So now that we've gone over fill in the blank, XYZ, you know, your lack of time, and, you know, you've been eating more fast food, and, you know, whatever their issues are, things that they've told you. Now that we've gone over all the things that you've told me, what are your thoughts? And then you're quiet and let them talk. That's one thing that we need to learn to do. Maybe you guys do it already, but we just need to let them talk. We don't, just like if you have kids, sometimes it's better to let them talk to you about the things going on before you try to solve all their problems. It's kind of the same thing here. So you need to get the information and ask questions and listen. So you just talk to them, you ask these questions, you write it down, and then you ask that. And just say, what are your thoughts now that we've gone over? And then you can like start operating them, the solutions with, you know, sounds to me like Shakeology would be a good option for you, because sounds like 21 Day Fix would be a good workout program for you to start with, because. And then, you know, just find ways to tie in the issues and the things that they've told you with the solutions that we have to offer, because we have everything that they need. We have the nutrition, we have the fitness, and we have the accountability. So, and then going through this kind of a deal right here also is it might take you a little time, I'm not gonna lie, but you don't have to ask every single question. It's just kind of, these are just guidelines. These are just, you might not have to ask every single question on here to every single person you talk to about starting a challenge group, but this is gonna help them learn to know, like, and trust you, and realize, you know, let them think that you really have their back, and that you really are concerned, and you're not just trying to sell them a damn challenge pack and make a few bucks, you know. And then of course, as we go along, you want to continue working with them, and then, you know, if they're going to stay on Shakeology long term, we can talk to them about at least the coaching discount. So and then a couple of things you might want to have in your little arsenal is learn about BMR, basal metabolic rate, and learn about the Harris-Benedict equation. And that is going to help you, give you more information. That BMR is your basal metabolic rate, is the amount of calories you burn keeping your body alive. That's how many calories your body burns every day. Even if I jokingly say, it's like, even if you just laid on the couch and watched Real Housewives all day, that's how many calories your body's going to burn. And then the Harris-Benedict equation factors in your activity level. So that's how many that would be how many calories the person would need to consume each day to maintain their current weight. So if they want to lose weight, then they want to do like a 500, or depending on where they're at, calorie deficit. So those are things, calculators, Google it, and it's all there. So, and I really want to see everybody start learning more about the different ingredients in Shakeology, and about the Ultimate Reset supplements, because people can buy those separately to help them with different issues. You know, about all the different things that we have as far as, you know, about the performance line. Learn a little bit more in detail about these, factor that into your personal development, listen to the Shakeology podcast, you know, find videos on YouTube that other coaches have done, you know, or, you know, maybe there's ones out there with Isabel or whatever, different things out there, so you can learn why, you know, maca is a good thing for certain people, and why camu is something beneficial for people. So find out these things, so then when people, you don't have to know every single thing about every single thing that we have, but at least enough where when they ask those questions, you can confidently answer them, and they can feel confident that you know what the hell you're talking about. So, I think that's all I have at the moment. Do you guys have any other things that you ask people, Dave or Tammy or anybody here, that you ask people when you are talking to them and getting them started? That I didn't, I mean, Dave, you hopped in, you didn't hear the first part, but.
Yeah, I heard most of it. Yeah, those are basically stuff that I ask as well. So, the more we ask and the more we're interested in what they have and what's important in their lives, and the more we're able to find out about them and fit the right solution for them. So that's very important to ask more questions and just and listen. Like I said before, listen with the intent of understanding, not with the intent to respond. Be willing to listen to what they have that you can help them with.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you guys have probably already experienced this, but you haven't. If you haven't yet, you will. People are going to tell you things that, it's going to pull on your heartstrings, and it's going to be like, oh my God, I can't even believe this story. And, that's, so just if it hasn't happened yet, be prepared. And if it has, just, we got to be as sympathetic, and we might not be able to relate to every single thing that somebody has gone through, but we all have things in our past that, maybe that we went through that can help us empathize with it. But yeah, it's especially if the more sensitive you are to things like that, to energy like that, I mean, it can really get inside of you and break your heart sometimes. But that's why we're doing what we're doing, and we're not selling leggings or lip gloss, because we really actually want to help people change their lives. And, again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here a little bit, but sometimes just hearing it again, and then maybe having like a whole guideline like this to, really dive a little bit deeper into talking to the people, and where we can really truly get some valuable information on how we can help them and help them be successful, not just get them started, but help them be long-term successful at this. So, questions, comments, smart remarks from anybody? For real? I watch Obi's faces over here. All right, so this is the beginning of, if you've been around for a little while, we've been doing 12-week year. I'm not going to go dive clear into that, but 12-week year, instead of focusing on your year as 12 months, the 12 weeks is like each week is a month. So we've done a training in the past, so I will find that and link it up. But the 12-week year is a book that we've also recommend everybody reads. So, but basically focus on 3 things for the next 3 months that you want to accomplish. Some of it should be with your business, like 3 things with your business, 3 things with your health and fitness. And then I always recommend 3 things in another area of your life, something more personal to you. And then you just dive into that and you focus on those and you push yourself a little bit harder, because like the way it goes is each week represents a month, and then so each day represents like a week. So if you're wasting a day, and when I do this, I feel horrible because I'm like, God, this is like supposed to be like a whole week, but I just sit around and don't do anything on it certain days sometimes. So, if you guys have not printed out this, print it out and start using it. So this can be really a really valuable tool for your 12-week year. We have it saved in the Force Nation group at least, so you guys can have access to it. I printed out one for each day of the month. I was doing like half sheets for last month, but I printed it whole, and I have the backs are blank, so I can like use those for notes. So do that and use it every day. And like we talked about a few weeks ago, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, if you do this, you can easily, I've been told you can easily make Success Club 10 if you do this every day. So, so you're not scrambling at the end of the month. And if you are scrambling at the end of the month, you probably didn't really do this every day or all of them every day. So anyway, I don't know. Dave, do you have anything?
I got one really, really quick thing I want to share with you guys. Just quick show of hands. who has watched my video that I posted the other day about Facebook posting, the 2 and 3 by 10 by 10? Anybody see that yet?
Did you say you put that in Fitfluence?
Yeah, I went live in Team Fitfluence, and then I also shared that video here in the Force Nation Facebook group page and also the Diamond Force. So it's on there. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out, guys. About, posting on Facebook, 2 to 3 times a day, and the 10 and 10 rule, 10 minutes before you post, engage with people, comment on their post, ask questions on their post, and then put your post up. And then immediately after that, engage with people who comment on your stuff. So that's basically the gist of it. But watch the video. I'll give a little bit more ideas behind that. Now, just to touch on that again, I know a couple of people didn't have seen that. I'm going to share my screen really quick. I want to show you guys something just to piggyback off of that. If you see my friends list here, I'm just going to show you something really quick that you can do. Go to your friends list, right? And what you want to do is, once you hover over the person's name, you have this drop-down menu here. It says following, okay? First thing you want to do is you want to put together a list of your top prospects. Go to your friends page and figure out who are your top best prospects, okay? Then I'm going to use this guy as an example, Jim, and you want to hover over where it says following. The first thing you want to do is you want to see his post first. So see first. Okay, and then when you hover over the friends part here, okay, cancel that. I reached my limit on that. But anyway, so come on. Do that. Or you can do it here in this page as well. So I can click down the friends menu here. And you can put them into a list. So I put together a list that says, oh, come on now. Let's say I do Pete here. Okay. I hover over his name, go to friends, add to another list. When I hit add to another list, I already put together a list of best prospects. So see down here, best prospects, I can put him in there. Now he's on that list. Okay. Now, when I go back and I want to, when you're on your Facebook news feed, over here on the left where it says Explore, you can go to your friends list and populate that. Okay. Come on. Now, everything on this feed is everybody that's in my best prospects list. So what I'm doing here is I'm only commenting and connecting and engaging with these people on this list because I want them to show up on my news feed more often. So if these are the people that are my best prospects, the more I engage with them, the more they're going to be seeing my stuff when I post, my invites or whatever I post on my stuff. So it gives you a better way to connect with people and to do, better marketing with your Facebook page. Just a quick little follow up on that, that video I did. So check out that video I did first and then do what I just did right now just to follow up on that. And you'll see, use that feed, use that friends list that, whatever you name it, best prospects or whatever, or customers or however you want to label the list, and it keeps me from scrolling and just BSing on Facebook. That's not what you want. Facebook doesn't want that. Facebook will put your stuff up top if you are engaging with people, if you are communicating with people, if you build a relationship with people. That's what they want to see. So you populate a list of people that you want in your business, engage with them, and you'll see, once you put your stuff up, you'll see them commenting and liking and engaging with you on your stuff. So really powerful stuff right there. So hopefully you guys get to use that. And that's about it for me. I'm done.
My dog was over here groaning, so I had to mute myself. So, all right. So if you guys come up with any other questions or comments about these, you can always, message me or message your upline or comment in the group or something like that. If you come up with other questions that you think are more valuable or that we should know about that are working for you, please share. That's why we're a team, is so we can share these things with each other. If you find something that's like, wow, that keeps bombing for me, same thing, let us know. And, and they were like, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore, because things do change. Just like Shalene talked about in social media world, and at Summit, social media changes, things like that. So anyway, I guess that's all I have. If you guys don't have any other questions or comments, we shall see you this week. Have a kick-ass week, and make sure that you are out there pushing and reaching out to your people and connecting with them and all that jazz. All right.
All right. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.